Kim Jong-un, leader of one of the world's most secretive and impoverished nations, has cultivated an image of frugality and ideological purity, yet satellite imagery and investigative reporting tell a wildly different story. Beneath the veneer of socialist virtue lies a network of lavish luxury, centered on a $2.9 million secret yacht moored in Wonsan, accompanied by a heavy military escort. While the world fixates on North Korea's nuclear brinkmanship, the opulence of its supreme leader is unfolding quietly along the coast. How did Kim Jong-un acquire a $2.9 million yacht despite strict UN sanctions? What does the yacht and its heavily guarded convoy mean for internal regime politics and external messaging? And how does this vessel fit into Kim's broader strategy to project power domestically and internationally? Origins and acquisition, smuggling sanctioned luxury. North Korea has been under sweeping UN sanctions for years, explicitly banning imports of luxury goods such as yachts. Yet satellite imagery and reports confirm a lavish vessel, a yacht with princess lineage, stationed near Kim Jong-un's coastal villa at Wonsan. One such vessel, identified as a Princess 95 MY worth around $7 million, was observed during Kim's on-the-spot guidance tour in 2013. More recently, imagery from 2024 shows an 80-meter cruise ship with water slides and an Olympic-sized pool patrolling the waters off Wonsan. The purchase and maintenance of such a vessel appear to directly flout UN Security Council Resolution 1718, which forbids luxury item imports by North Korea. The question becomes, who is supplying and who is financing these acquisitions? The acquisition likely hinges on complex networks, shell companies, flagged cargo ships, and shipments via Chinese and Russian intermediaries. Private yachts can be shipped in pieces and assembled locally, often bypassing detection. North Korea's notorious Shadow Fleet uses AIS spoofing and flags of convenience to transport goods covertly, and ships like Cambodia-flagged Ji Shun have transferred weapons in dark patterns. Luxury vessels could follow similar routes. Once entered via Chinese ports, they are delivered to North Korean shipyards where assembly and deployment occur. This covert import is facilitated by weak enforcement from supplier states, despite their obligations under UN resolutions. Enforcing these sanctions hinges on full cooperation and investigation, currently insufficient to halt this opulence. Equally opaque is the financing. How does a poor nation like North Korea afford a multi-million-dollar yacht? Analysts posit the regime siphons revenue from arms sales, minerals exports, and illegal trade, funneling it into luxury goods for elites. Reports suggest North Korea exports missiles to Russia and engages in illicit ship-to-ship transfers to evade restrictions. Wealth hidden in bureaucratic channels, possibly disguised as budget allocations or disguised fiscal flows, can be tapped by the leadership. In effect, Kim's yacht is a symbol of those hidden revenues, unreachable without the informal economy's protection. This dynamic deepens the disconnect between the regime's narrative of self-reliance and its dependence on illicit funds. Domestic politics play a clear role. Building and maintaining lavish assets signals Kim's status to internal elites and the military, rewarding loyalty while reinforcing hierarchy. His heavily entrenched inner circle, from military officers to business magnates, depends on shared privilege. Observers at NK News and RFA note that satellite images frequently show yacht activity corresponding with Kim's absences from public life, implying it serves as his retreat and reward temperature zone. These material perks aren't just indulgence, they are political currency. They reinforce membership in the inner sanctum and project unspoken promises of wealth distribution to those who remain faithful. Perhaps most telling is how Kim's yacht existence underscores the regime's sanction evasion resilience. Despite UN measures, North Korea continues its extravagant consumption unimpeded. The yacht isn't a one-off, it's part of a pattern. Multiple vessels, private islands, villas, and even rare automobiles are visible via satellite. This suggests not just evasion, but a robust apparatus dedicated to preserving elite privilege. For international policymakers, each yacht sighting intensifies the pressure to improve tracking, intelligence sharing, and enforcement. Otherwise, luxury will continue to overshadow suffering, and sanctions will ring increasingly hollow. Yacht specs and celebrity status. Kim Jong-un's private vessels are not modest affairs. They are floating palaces bristling with luxury. The original Princess 95 MY, spotted in 2013, featured 4 double cabins, 3 ensuite baths, flat-screen TVs, a spacious dining area, and plush living quarters, comforting evidence that Kim craves first-class amenities even during on-the-spot guidance tours. More recent satellite evidence points to a much larger cruise-style yacht, approximately 80 meters long, with water slides, an Olympic opinion-size pool, and multi-level lounges, a veritable floating amusement park. Analysts at RFA confirm such ferries shuttle between the yacht dock and nearby villas, implying active use for family gatherings or entertainment. This isn't just a luxury retreat, it's a stage for image crafting and privilege. Built for ostentation, these yachts exceed anything publicly acknowledged within North Korea. The twin twisting water slides alone mark a stark contrast to the external image of national hardship. Deseret News calls it a floating amusement park, highlighting the extravagance of features more at home in the French Riviera than Wonsan. Inside, VIP cabins and lounges, probably adorned with designer furnishings, underscore Kim's appetite for Western-style decadence. While the regime censors images of domestic privation, these vessels quietly broadcast his private affluence. Satellite imagery, therefore, plays a key role in revealing what state media conceals. The yacht serves both internal and external messaging roles. Internally, it demonstrates that Kim lives among, but distinctly above, his people. For elites within the regime, it confirms their proximity to privilege. Externally, the vessel sends a signal to regimes and analysts worldwide. North Korea may be financially strapped, but its supreme leader remains well insulated. This signaling bolsters Kim's image as a strongman maintaining indulgent command, yet one still engaged on his own terms. It subtly contradicts Western narratives that portray him as isolated, desperate, or powerless. The irony could not be more glaring. Food shortages and pandemic-driven humanitarian needs plague the populace, yet the leader spends millions on private flotillas. In mid-2021, while North Korea cited famine and COVID-19 as crises, satellite monitors saw Kim's waterslide yacht in motion off the coast. Meanwhile, experts from the UN or WFP rarely gain access. The contrast between yacht opulence and national suffering is jarring. Each satellite image fuels pressure for more robust humanitarian oversight and aid transparency. Yet the regime remains implacable, prioritizing elite comfort over national welfare. The origins of the yacht itself also carry symbolic weight. A Princess 95MY, a top-tier British-manufactured luxury liner, defies the declared policy of self-reliance. It's crafted by a subsidiary of LVMH, itself a symbol of capitalism's extravagance. How did such a vessel slip through the sanction net and into the hands of a regime claiming ideological purity? Its presence racks up diplomatic questions. Were Chinese shipyards complicit, or did Russian shipping lanes facilitate the transfer? Each answer may trace back to networks that profit from propping up the North Korean elite. Finally, the yacht's specifications matter because they validate satellite readiness and analysis capabilities. International observers tracked passage of a yacht from the Wonsan Villa to offshore islands via commercial images. Detailed annotation, pointing out decks, slides, and docking routes, proved not only the vessel's existence but its scale and use. This reinforces the role geospatial intelligence plays in sanction monitoring and human rights advocacy. The yacht, in short, becomes a symbol not just of Kim's luxury, but of global surveillance keeping a hidden regime under watch. The military convoy, security, signaling, and sovereignty, satellite imagery, and open-source intelligence now show Kim Jong-un's yacht flanked by a formidable military convoy whenever it sets sail. Reports describe fast attack craft, likely very slender vessels, patrolling near the yacht, ensuring no unwanted vessels or aircraft breach the security perimeter. Meanwhile, escort warships bearing surface-to-air and anti-ship missile systems have been observed shadowing the yacht during voyages off Wonsan's coast, an implicit show of force. This heavy naval protection underscores Kim's concern about surveillance and possible attacks, but also sends a broader message. The leader travels with sovereign-grade protection. Analysts warn that these assets, ranging from intercept boats to missile-equipped ships, mirror North Korea's ambition to extend its military footprint into coastal zones. Such naval canalization demonstrates power at sea and reinforces the regime's narrative of enduring strength, particularly despite economic and diplomatic isolation. Ultimately, the convoy isn't just bodyguard tech, it's theater. spotlighting Kim's command over military logistics in a way that communicates resilience both at home and abroad. The composition of the convoy reflects a melding of conventional and experimental assets. Recent satellite tracking shows not only small patrol boats, but potentially new Chu Haiyan-class destroyers in proximity, vessels bristling with vertical launch missile systems and radar arrays. Although one sister ship failed in a dramatic side launch accident in May, capsizing during ceremony and prompting arrests, others remain at sea, serving as deterrence platforms. Their presence alongside a luxury yacht reinforces the idea that Kim's pleasure is inseparable from his power projection. Even flagship-level vessels surround what is essentially his floating retreat. This overlap suggests dual-use signaling, that naval modernization and elite indulgence are part of the same strategic narrative according to regime messaging. And if restoration of naval power is fragile, highlighted by the side launch fiasco, the convoy still symbolizes ambition, not retreat. Tactically, these maritime escorts function as layered security. The smallest fast boats scour the surface for underwater threats and monitor civilian traffic. Destroyers provide anti-air and anti-ship coverage with vertical launchers linked to surface radar, forming a defensive bubble. Additionally, satellite surveillance by Kim's new Malajong-1 spy satellite reportedly keeps the U.S. naval presence, such as bases in Guam, under watch. Combined, these layers suggest North Korea is building an integrated security network that includes high-tech reconnaissance, missile deterrence, and close-quarters naval defense. All of this unfolds to serve a dual purpose, shielding the leader and showcasing military reach. For external audiences, the convoy amplifies the image of a regime that courts both luxury and militarized mobility, political optics, propaganda, performance, and isolation. Internally, Kim Jong-un's yacht and its convoy help cultivate a mythos of leadership elevated above the masses, but not wholly detached. State-controlled outlets regularly depict the leader near seaside villas and aboard naval vessels, showcasing him inspecting facilities or supervising drills. But these appearances are carefully orchestrated, highlighting a man who relishes both command and leisure. For ordinary North Koreans, whose lives are marked by food shortages and power cuts, the message is double-edged. The leader is omnipotent, powerful, and well-protected, but also increasingly distant. Yet for elites within the party, military, and bureaucratic apparatus, it cements their own stake in the system. Luxury is a reward for loyalty and an incentive for compliance. The yacht thus operates as political currency, reinforcing hierarchies that Kim depends on to maintain an otherwise brittle coalition. Externally, this extravagant display flies in the face of Kim's ideological claims of juche and self-reliance. While Pyongyang markets itself as economically besieged, these radar-confirmed jewels of luxury send a conflicting broadcast. International audiences and sanction monitors see a regime that, on one hand, complains of hardship, and on the other, funds an elite floating resort. Such dissonance undermines North Korea's credibility in diplomatic negotiations. It may also stiffen Western resolve to tighten sanctions or demand transparency. Indeed, the thunk of laughter rippling through diplomatic circles during coverage of the side launch accident proved telling. Such public missteps damage the regime's cultivated aura of dignity. Combined, yacht and convoy create a mirrored message: disciplined dictatorship wrapped in naval showiness, but brittle where competence is required. Yet this political theater also comes with costs. Excessive opulence risks alienating both domestic subjects and foreign benefactors like China, who expect prudent governance. Building and maintaining yachts and destroyers demand financial and logistical resources. Those same resources could otherwise support basic income or public infrastructure. As famine and economic struggle persist, this lavish maritime display becomes a sore provocation. It also sets a performance trap. Each display raises expectations for the next. A dictator once able to show off one yacht must now fend off critique if he fails to expand or upgrade the fleet. The recent destroyer capsizing was therefore not only a technical failure, it was a political embarrassment that cost the regime face. Now it's over to you. How should international policymakers respond to this blatant opulence amid sanctioned constraints? Could exposing more of Kim's excesses fuel global pressure, or simply comfort the dictator that he's untouchable? If this video sparked your curiosity, don't let it stop here. Share this breakdown, comment, like, and subscribe.